Margie McGraw is a travel writer based in Nashville, Tennessee. She has written books, articles, and radio programs about the music and history of Nashville.
People ask me to write about Nashville all the time, so my challenge is to find a new and unusual focus for my stories. Nashville, Tennessee has been called Music City, USA, and most recently Guitar Town. Today I'm going to prepare an article for my paper to find out why. In the 1950s, a disc jockey referred to Nashville as Music City, USA, and the name stuck. But music had been an important part of Nashville's cultural life long before that. Nashville's reputation as a music center started in the 1930s with a radio show called the Grand Ole Opry. It was broadcast from here, in the Ryman Auditorium, to people all over the United States. From the 1950s on, one musician who was often heard on the program was Mother Maybelle Carter. And the way she played her guitar changed country music. One place to learn more about Mother Maybelle is right here at the Country Music Hall of Fame. Come on, let's go inside. The Hall of Fame is where the very best country musicians are honored. In the museum, you can learn about the history of country music and see many country musicians, performances, clothes, and instruments. I interviewed Mick Buck. He works at the museum and is an expert on music history.
Up until the 1920s, the guitar had been used primarily as a rhythm instrument, a secondary instrument. Maybelle found a way to make her guitar sound like two guitars playing at once. She could play the rhythm chords and lead melody lines at the same time. And this was truly a revolutionary thing at that time period.
Hey, Mother Maybelle Carter used a Gibson guitar, so I thought that's something else I can focus on. Gibson guitars are made right here in Nashville. I wonder if that's why they call it Guitar Town. Orville Gibson, the company's founder, had been a shoe clerk before he started making mandolins and guitars. Musicians loved the sound of his Gibsons, and they still do. I got to talk to a lot of people at the factory. I wanted to find out what it is that makes a Gibson guitar so special. What makes a Gibson sound like a Gibson?
The way the guitar is weighted, the balance of it. There's a lot of things that go into what makes it. A lot of people like the design of its classic design, the body shape.
What's Gibson's most famous guitar?
Well, today, the guitar Gibson is best known for is the Les Paul. In 1952, when Gibson introduced the Les Paul model, Gibson had been making only hollow body electric guitars. We decided to make one with a solid body. So they found Les Paul, who was at that time the most famous guitar player in the world. And he also had been playing a homemade solid body guitar. So Gibson and Les got together and introduced the Les Paul model. It had a gold top finish. We still make them today, and it's by far the most successful arrangement between a guitar company and a guitar player in the history of the guitar.
Obviously, many people in Nashville are extremely passionate about guitars, but George Gruen is completely obsessed. George Gruen runs the most famous vintage guitar business in the world. It's located in the heart of Nashville. George Gruen is famous because he invented a way to classify guitars.
Style 45 has this abalone pearl trim all around the edge of the top.
No one had ever done this before.
It's a rare enough one that they only made a couple dozen.
He's a walking encyclopedia of guitar knowledge, and he can tell you the value of any guitar in minutes.
Rosewood fingerboard, $300.
He also has had some pretty famous customers like Eric Clapton, Johnny Cash.
But this was Johnny Cash's main guitar.
George Harrison and Paul McCartney. Those guitars were incredible. I have enough to write my article, and I think I know why they call Nashville Guitar Town.